Welcome back to Rusty's Guitar. Today we're going to talk again about the pentatonic scale. This is part 2, extending on some of the stuff that we talked about previously. And let's get right to it. We're just going to stay in the key of A. So A, 5th fret right here. And we're just going to run over briefly the scale itself. Minor pentatonic in A, major pentatonic, 3 frets down. So minor. Major. And again, I'm just going to get a groove going. We're going to extend these scales a little bit more than we did last time. So with the minor pentatonic here, we're going to just add the next part of the next position. And in the major key, hopefully I'm going to get a close-up of that so you can see that a little bit. But there's a lot of things you can do with that little extension that I just showed you. So I'll get a little groove going. As you can hear, from the last video, we kept it a lot more simple, but this, just adding that little extension of each of those scales just helps you kind of just run up the scale a little bit, and it sounds very musical doing it that way. Again, this whole extension, and then the major, by themselves, it doesn't sound like much. It sounds like you're playing a scale when you do it like that. But in the context of that little groove right there, it ends up to be a lot more. I'm going to take these glasses off. But it lets you open up and kind of slide into some of the notes. So I was going, so you're just sliding to the A. Again, we talked about that in the last video. Home bass, A, 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 A. There's a lot of other notes you can land on, and we'll get into that in some other videos, some Just trying to get you guys to have some fun with the scale, and that's really what it's about, is having fun and enjoying what you're doing. All right, so we'll go back to the groove, and I'm just going to show you how I'm sliding up and pulling down to those notes. So just sliding up to the A, sliding down, go back to the groove. I hope. Wow, it's a lot of fun just extending some of that stuff out, bending up on a few notes. Some of the beginners at this scale will have a tough time bending some of those notes, but it just takes some practice. Same thing as right here. And even accentuating that note as you're coming back with just a slight little pivot there. So you're trying to get to this E note right here. And that's a good way to practice it. Just bend it up to the tone. And it's not an easy thing when you're first starting the bends, but you definitely can do it as you're sitting around. Just do it, sometimes for many minutes or hours. just a lot of fun going back and forth like that. There is the scale I showed you at the beginning. This is again the first position of the minor pentatonic. And this is what everybody kind of learns first, but this major pentatonic and mixing those together is really the key to hitting, stuff that sounds good over the chords as you're changing them, which we'll definitely get into in some other videos coming up here. So, and with them, the major pentatonic, 3 frets down in the 2nd fret here. And you see a lot of people and a lot of guitar players mixing things up with that scale. All that was just in that box right there. Going down to the major pentatonic. A lot of that is some bending in there and pulling off. So you're hitting the note and pulling off and having a note already under your fingers. That's another way to get so you're not just running up and down the scale like this. It's just a lot of fun playing through that scale. And some of you guys just beginning, don't look at all these videos and see these great players and be down on yourself because you're not there yet. Believe me, those guys worked at it for many years, and it's just something you need to work at but have fun doing it. There's a ton of videos about how to play songs, using these scales and stuff, but you need to know what works with some of these chords and why they work. But switching from a minor pentatonic to a major pentatonic is a good tool to sound bluesy, sound like country-ish and rock. And there's a lot of styles that use that type of playing. Just a lot of stuff. Just those two scales, you can get it to sound country-ish. I'm not a good chicken picker in any way, but you still have a lot of those a lot of those things that can then help you to sound, and it really depends how you attack the guitar, how some of these things sound. So obviously when you play the scale like that, it sounds like rock, big time. And playing it like I was before. It sounds a lot cleaner, a little more country-ish. I'm not real good at it, but and there's in a blues context. So a lot, really how you attack the guitar and have things set up is, that's all the same scale, but it sounds a lot different when you push some drive pedals through it, or clean it up, and how you use your hand, and just try some different things, guys. And I'm going to leave you with that today. The next lesson with the mixing the major and minor pentatonic is going to be showing you the shapes that are up and down the neck, like I was doing toward the end of the groove I was playing there. And it's a really simple connection, playing a lot of the same notes, but when you do them in different parts of the neck, they sound different. And it's just fun to learn about that, and learn how they work with some of the chords and things you want to learn how to play. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.